People, what's up? It's me, L Teddy 27, Angry Teacher Chronicles, and we're back. This is Pose Season 2, Episode 9, and we are back, people. Another great review, another great episode. We're here for all of it. Let's go ahead and get started, y'all. We start off, listen, I gotta take a drink just thinking about the beginning of this episode, y'all. Baby, it is hot as Satan's nutsack, okay? In the city of New York, baby, it feels like Satan's nutsack. And I can understand, I can empathize, because it got up to like 102 or 3 today where I'm at. Even at like 8 o'clock at night, it still was 100 degrees according to my phone. Just a whole ass mess. So I certainly could empathize. Blanca is her ass laid up in bed. And y'all know how it is when it is just too hot. You know, if you grew up poor and maybe you ain't have air conditioning all your life, because I know what that's like, and you just hot as hell, and you just laid up. You can't even sleep right, honey. It's just, you cannot sleep right when you hot. Baby, she's over there just struggling to sleep. Okay, just struggling. Blanca is woken up by a phone call. She answers the phone. You can see it's bad news. And I thought it was one of her kids. So I'm like, oh shit, oh God. You know, I'm thinking it's one of her kids. No. It's, we see her next at the shop, the nail shop. Baby, Frederica done burned it down to the ground. To the ground. Another, different show, same scene. Another angry rich white woman mad at the black girl or the girl of color and burns her business down to the ground. We saw it last week on Queen Sugar. We see it again this week on Pose. You know, rich white women love burning shit to the ground. Girl, just a whole ass mess. Frederica came there, baby, and gave epic next level shade. She was here for no parts of Blanca. She told her last episode, girl, you think it's a game, play pussy and get fucked if you want to. And she played pussy and she got fucked. Baby, Frederica was here for it. She was here for all of it. Baby, the category was white cunt realness, okay? And baby, she was a real white cunt. So she not only walked white cunt realness in that there ball, honey, she lives it on a daily basis, bitch. She was here for all of it, honey. Just a whole ass white cunt. Then we have Mother Electra at the dungeon. Can I tell you all that of all of the episodes in both seasons, last season, I think we had 8 episodes last season. This year we're going to have 10. And so we've seen 9 thus far. So the 8 and 9 is 17 episodes, somewhere around there. This is my favorite of Electra. And I'm an Electra fan. Electra is one of my favorite characters on this show. By far, from beginning to end, I loved Electra. Every part of it. Shouts out to Dominique Jackson, the actress who plays Electra. Baby, you did the damn thing this week. Every single scene she was in, she took the scene. Every part of who she was, good, bad, and in between, she was that in this episode. And you loved it. You absolutely loved it. You could not take your eyes off of her. You could not want to see her. You know, Electra stole the show this episode. This was a great episode for Electra. So I wanted to preface by saying that. So we see her. She's at the dungeon. She's talking to one of the other dominatrix chicks. And dominatrix chick says, girl, you ain't gone yet? No. Electra asks her, why you leaving so early? She was like, girl, it's the summer. It's hot as fuck. And these men, they go out to their summer homes, so it's real slow during this season. So she was like, don't you got somebody in there been waiting for a few hours? So Electra's got a sketch. She was like, oh shit, she'll want to have another replay of what happened a few episodes ago. She rolls off in Dude Is Alright. Dude talks about having this fetish for being tied up or chained and just being by himself, secluded away somewhere. And he's a Wall Street, mogul or whatever. And so I'm thinking that that's his fetish, maybe because he works on the floor of the Dow Jones or something. And if you've ever seen the floor of the Dow Jones, this shit is like reckless abandon. It's like total chaos and anarchy. It's just, a lot going on. Papers flying everywhere, people pushing and prodding, and just all everywhere, computers everywhere. And so it probably turns him on to be put in a space that he's not used to, which is nobody's there and waiting and anticipating, okay, what's going to happen next. And it may just be that whole anticipation of what's going to happen next, because when you're someone who's always in a position of authority and leadership, you dictate what's going to happen next. There's no secret or no guessing game, because you call the shots. You decide. And so I'm guessing, and I can relate to that. You love not knowing what's going to happen, not being in charge. That's sexy. And I know me, because I'm always somebody who dictates in my professional life, and in outside of my professional life, in a lot of my organizations, I get to dictate what's going to happen. In my personal life, in my love life, I defer to the boo, the bae. I defer to I don't want to call any shot. I love not knowing what we're going to do, or not having to decide, and having the other person make the decision, or just the anticipation of what's going to happen. So I can understand that. But his is a little more dirty, seedy, because he likes being there, the sweat and of the heat and all of that, the hotness, having to, being locked there. He wanted to be locked overnight, meaning he would probably piss and defecate himself. And so he wanted all parts of that. And Electra was like, honey, I ain't had good experiences with that. And so he tells her, and she asks him, well, why are you still here? And all of your rich friends are, out in their beach homes. He was like, I got a beach home. It's real nice and all of that, but I really don't like it. I really don't like it. And so that gets her wheels to churning. Bookmark that. We'll talk about that in a few shakes. We're back at Blanca's house. Baby, it still feels like, Lucifer's nutsack. And we done crawled from the nutsack through the taint and all the way up into the asshole, okay? Baby, we are in the whole butt crack and inside of the asshole, honey. It's that hot, okay? Just hot as all get out. So, Electra, so it's Electra, it's Angel, it's Lulu, and it's Blanca at Blanca's house. And they just having a whole girls' day, honey. And, they're talking about, well, Electra, you got all this money and this AC. Why the fuck we ain't at your goddamn house? And Electra was like, listen, I forgot the excuse she made about the smells. I think she talked about somebody bringing seafood or something. Something, she made up an excuse. Electra and Blanca really know what the real story is. And that's the story of that man who's decomposing in the chest in her goddamn closet. And in those kind of temperatures, that decomposition process happens a little quicker, and there's a lot more smell, baby. And they have this little montage of all of the different ways that she's trying to get rid of that smell. Just a damn mess, Electra. And I was here for all of Electra, honey. So Electra said, listen, we need to get away. And Electra, I told you her wheels were turning, and she comes up with this idea. So she gets the little submissive John guy that she just had, from the night before, to agree to let them, use the house for the weekend. And she's going to have him chained up in the garage where it's hot and steamy and sweaty that he'll like, and nobody's going to go down there and bother him. And so he's going to love all of that. She's going to leave him chained down there. And the whole thing is they're not going to feed him so he doesn't go defecate on himself. But he likes to urinate on himself so he can pee all he wants to. So she'll keep him hydrated. But he'll be locked away and secluded from the rest of the world. And that's his fetish. That's what he likes. And he wants to be left there for days at a time. Baby, they get there to the... So Electra tells him, tells the girls, listen, we're going on a girls trip. Pack your bags, bring your swimsuits, and baby, meet me at the house early in the morning. Baby, the girls come over to Electra's house in the morning, and the swimsuits are sickening. Sickening, bitch. Electra is statuesque. I think she had on this, because you know she's a whole 7 foot tall, baby. She had on this fuchsia pink one piece. Sickening, honey. Sickening, damn near 6 foot wide beach hat, tilted, honey. Just a whole sickening, statuesque, beautiful, dark skinned Nubian princess, honey. In that bright fuchsia, everything. Miss Angel came out there in a 2 piece, sickening as ever, but quiet as it's kept. In my estimation, the most attractive, the one that can pass more than any of them to me is really Lulu. Lulu has the bone structure and facial structure of a woman to me more than the rest of them. Lulu's body gives me more woman than the rest of them. So, and Lulu is sickening in her shades and her swimsuit, just sickening. I think that to a certain degree, they probably dress her down a little bit with her clothing and with her makeup so that she doesn't outshadow the other girls because that's her whole thing, I guess, for her character. But given the opportunity and dressed up, she probably would look better than all of the rest of the girls. My opinion. Anyway, Blanca comes over just looking just frumpy as all get out. And girl, they look out like, girl, where you going? Girl, boom. Honey, boom. Boom, honey. And they give her a whole ass makeover. She needs one, honey. She starts to feel better about herself. And baby, they start to make their way on this good road trip. And so, I loved this scene, the driving scene. Electra done got this car. Electra can't drive not one bit. And I'm going to show my age because Electra didn't have no driver's license. She talked about getting a fake ID, fake driver's license to go rent this car. So I'm going to age myself a little bit. My first driver's license, I'm not going to tell y'all what year. Anyway, it came, I got my first driver's license the year before Florida changed over from the hard laminated driver's license to the plastic driver's license that looked like a credit card. We called it back then. And I just remember, you know, having the old driver's license and you could make one in your fucking house if you had the right equipment. So that was real easy. So it made me wax sentimental, remember back in those days with my first driver's license. So Electra's had this fake driver like that bitch can't drive at all. This bitch is driving in the middle of the fucking road, driving on top of the little stripes that's supposed to separate the two lanes. She in the lane, she in between the lanes. And I'm guessing this whore thinks she's supposed to drive down the line, not knowing she's supposed to drive between the lines. Just a whole ass mess, Electra. But it made me think about me and my own gay children. Because just like a real parent introduces and forces their children to listen to good music all the time, gay parents do it as well. Because there's a whole playlist of music that if you are black and gay, you must have been introduced to that music. You have to know it. I'm sorry. So I can't even remember what song was playing, but it was definitely an old school song for it to be 1990. And Electra was like, yes, this is real music. And Electra is jamming. The rest of her children are jamming with her. Why? Because you can tell as a good parent, she has already introduced them to the good oldie, goldies, and the classics. And it makes me think about me and my 5 children. And when they're at my house with me, when we're out on a trip, when we're traveling, when I'm in the car, we ain't listening to none of this 2000 whatever mess. Everything I'm playing is 80s and 90s mixed in with some 70s. Okay? That's just how it is. And they know every word, every riff, every ad lib, because I don't play that. If I know good music, they will also know good music, and they will pass that along to their children. It's how we do. That's the tradition of the black race. If your parents and grandparents didn't introduce you to good old school music, your parents and grandparents failed you. Just saying. Gay world, straight world. Anyway, moving on. But I loved Elektra in this scene. I mean, Elektra is being a mother. And y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about Elektra. She may not be nurturing. And this is why I say I embody Elektra. I'm not nurturing. But I am a mother still to my gay children. They love me. Love, love, love me. I love them. I will fight tooth and nail for them. Listen, it's so bad with me and my children that even their biological parents, if something happens to them, they call me first. If they go missing or they haven't, if their biological parents haven't heard from them in too long of a time, in a couple days or a couple weeks, they'll call me. Hey, E, have you heard from? Because I ain't hear from him. Now I'll be like, okay, I heard from him. I talked to him earlier. I have him call you. They all right. Let him tell him to call me. It's how it goes. So, but I love this Elektra. So they get to the beach house. The beach house is sickening. It is laid the fuck out, bitch. It is laid all the way out, bitch. And they go to the garage because the Elektra gave them the house rules. The whole house is yours. Everybody got their own room, but just don't go to the garage. Why? She takes them down to the garage. They see the man trapped in the garage. He wants to be secluded for the whole weekend. And so Lulu and Angel, Blanca tells Lulu and Angel, y'all go upstairs. I need to talk to Elektra. Blanca talked to Elektra. Hey, bitch. Hey, whore. Hey, girl. We ain't gonna have this situation that we had last week. Not last week. A little bit ago. Where we had that situation. She was like, no, I took all the precautions. And she shows her all the precautions she took. She was like, all right. So the man is like, okay, y'all can leave me here all night. She was like, we'll come back to check on you in a couple of hours. And so that's taken care of. So next we see them out on the beach. And baby, these girls are living their whole life. Baby, they are laid out on this good beach. And Elektra is out there once again stealing the scene. She has a whole scene about her. She has her big beach umbrella, sickening bathing suit, sickening hat, sickening shades. She's giving life and giving it abundantly on Miss Beach Beast. Miss Blanca say, oh, don't y'all want to get in the water? Girl, Elektra look at her like, girl, do you see what I look like? Girl, I put this together. Miss Lulu was like, honey, I can't get these good edges wet, honey. Angel is like, girl, I can't even swim, honey. I ain't going out there in that water. Blanca is like, I can't swim either, but I want to go to the water. So she convinces her daughter, Angel, to come out to this water with her. Girl, neither one of these whores can swim. They go out to this good water. So Elektra then has this conversation with Lulu. And Elektra talks about her regret that she was so busy making sure everything with the funeral for Candy was taken care of, she never got the opportunity to go up to the body and look at her child. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it in my review or if I mentioned it in someone else's comments for their review, that Elektra is the only one that you didn't see got to have that one-on-one conversation with Lulu, or at least get to have that visit from Lulu. She never went to the casket, and that was her mother. And Elektra was grieving. She really was, and during the funeral. And so she talks about that, and Lulu reassures her and say, listen, you sent your daughter out in style, and Candy would certainly be so very happy and proud about how you sent her out. Then, girl, Angel comes running, yelling for the lifeguard. Lifeguard goes out there. Blanca is out there drowning. Let me just say, I really thought that they were faking. I thought this was a whole ploy to try to get Lifeguard to come out there and try to save them. But I really did. So when you see Lifeguard dragging Blanca out the water, and her body really does look lifeless, I was like, oh shit, I was wrong. Bad of me to think that. And you know, he actually did. She was fucking drowning. Had to give her mouth to mouth. She's coughing up water out her lungs and shit. So, it was real, and he saved her life. Lifeguard Bay. He's cute. He's a whole ass snack with all his muscles and his speedos. If I'm not mistaken, it was like neon green speedos. He was real cute now, not cute, but crute. Crute. If you know what I'm talking about. There's a difference between being cute and crute. Anyway, moving on. The girls are back at the beach house, and they talk about how Blanca was saved by Lifeguard Bay and how cute Lifeguard Bay was. The girls are ogling over Lifeguard Bay. And so there's no liquor in the house. And girl, there's no good out of town trip without great liquor. You gotta have it. Child. Electra went down there to ask the little guy whose house it was, where's your liquor? He was like, listen, I ain't been here all summer. Ain't nothing in here. She was like, child, this is a damn mess. So she was like, we're going out on the town to go eat and drink it up. Baby, they go to this good restaurant on this motherfucking beach. You know, high class, rich, snobby white folks here. Baby, they go up in there first. And can we get around the Long Island? Baby, they are ordering lobsters. They're ordering oysters and caviar and shrimp. Girl, you name it, they're ordering. And like a good mother, Blanca says, I am mother. It's on me, honey. Everything's on me today. And Blanca is doing what a mother does. She's taking care of the family. Love Blanca. Baby, they got whatever they wanted, and they are living it up. Girl, they done stayed there a few hours. Blanca says, Blanca didn't pay, it was Electra. Electra is being the mother here, I'm sorry. But anyway, Blanca says, I gotta go use the restroom. You know this liquor runs through me. Goes to use the restroom. While she's at the restroom, meanwhile, back at the table, Whitefish come up to this good table, honey. Excuse me, but you all are very loud. Electra says, girl, we're just as loud as everybody else. Cut the crap. What is it really about? So she comes right out with it. Baby, I done been to the city, and I could tell men trying to be women when I see them, and I see 3 of them here because Blanca's still in the bathroom. Baby shark, do. Why did that woman do that? Because if you know anything about Miss Electra piece, baby, she's not going to let a good read pass her by. Baby, that 7-foot-tall glamazon stood up, baby, and Red wrote and erased that whore. Okay. I was here for all of it. Baby, mid-read, her child Lulu says, hold on, mother, clear your throat, and like a good mother, you have your glass, never paper, never plastic, never styrofoam. You have a glass, you have your drink, you sip. Like I always do in my videos. You clear your throat, and you proceed to read down. You not only read, you write, and you erase the whores. Baby, Miss Electra was handing out drug problems out there, honey. She drugged the boys up and down them beach streets, honey. Read down, honey. I was here for all of it. I lived. I told you I lived for Electra, honey. Meanwhile, Blanca's coming out the bathroom, and who does she see? Lifeguard Bay. Lifeguard Bay is on the phone. She taps him on the shoulder. He turns around. Let me call you back. Lifeguard Bay says, hey. She learns his name is Adrian. He invites her out on a stroll on the beach. She's all enamored, instantly moist in the right places. Goes back to the table, tells the girls. The girls is like, girl, this is 1990. Girl, you might get gay bashed. You might get killed. Killed did. We gonna take it all hood and ghetto, not killed. Killed did. Okay. She was like, girl, I'm going. And this rings back to last episode when Pray Tell told her all about how, baby, you need to get you some. And if you notice, there's a pattern, especially this season. So what you have this season is you see each episode, there's a small scene or snippet where there's a little foreshadowing where someone says something that references something that's going to happen the very next episode. And we've seen that each episode this season. Baby, they say, girl, well, if you gonna go, Electra says, girl, here, take my switchblade. Miss Angel handed her the brass knuckles. Miss Lulu handed her taser, baby. Baby, they gave her all the good weapons because they was like, baby, you ain't leaving here that fast. And let me backtrack. When Blanca was almost damn near dead, honey, Electra sprang right into motherly mode and was like, no, not my child. I can't lose another child. And listen, I have 5 gay children. I won't call their names. I'll just say their initials. I have K, M, J, J, and R. And if any of them whores went before me, I wouldn't be able to deal. I'd be out of my fucking mind. Wouldn't even. So I can't even imagine what Electra was like. Say what you want. I can't even imagine what she was going through having to bury Candy. And to think that she might be losing another one in Blanca. She was besides herself. Back to where we was. Blanca goes on a beach stroll with Lifeguard Bae. Lifeguard Bae, you know, it was so funny. We found out Lifeguard Bae is studying to be a doctor, and Blanca tells him about her shop and all of that stuff. It burned down to the ground. And Blanca talks about, oh, I feel like we're on one of those commercials for, you know, one of those CDs that have all of the smooth grooves or the R&B hits or the, you know, the slow ballads or whatever. And if you grew up during that time, late 80s, early 90s, they had those commercials all the time. The man and the lady walking up and down the beach. Always they had a Celine Dion, Lisa Stansfield, Taylor Dane, Patty Austin. You know, they might mix in a Roberta Flack. Or, you know, somebody, you know, that wasn't too black. They would always have the white girls that could sing a little. And then they would have the black girls that was, you know, not too black on there for them. Okay? Girl, everybody know about them CDs. And them cassette tapes. Anyway, Lifeguard Bae tells her, I know who you are. I know what you are. And she's like, what? And he said, I still like you. Gives her a whole kiss. And I think we all collectively got moist with Blanca right there. Because Lifeguard Bae gave everything right there. Did all the right things, honey. Meanwhile, the next morning, back at the beach, you had a tradition that is tradition of all good girlfriends, all gay men, and all good Judies. What do? It don't even have to be the next morning. It could be right after you leave from off your date. Girl, you gonna sit with your good Judies and chop it up and tell the stories. Embellish a little, but girl, you're gonna chop it up. You need validation from them of what you thought. They're gonna tell you what they thought. And girl, they're gonna give you all the good, bad, and in-betweens. Girl, they gonna ask you how big the dick was. Girl, they gonna ask you what he bought you and all of that. And if you are a good girl, you never leave the girls without a good story to tell, honey. If you gonna tell the story needs to be good. Like I have taught all of my children, baby, don't come back here with no story not knowing at least how big the dick is. I ain't tell you got to be done had sex, but girl, you better rub your arm or leg across it or something, be able to come back and tell the girls the story about how big the meat is, honey. Anyway, they're getting ready to leave. Electra goes in and frees her John. And there was a poignant moment here where Electra tells him, listen, you don't know how lucky you are. Because you can sit here and choose to be alone when there are those of us who don't have the option. We are forced to be lonely. We don't have the choice to try to choose to have somebody make us be alone and lonely. Life has done that for us. I thought that was a really not touching, but poignant moment. Then we got the ride home. And we all, if you were not, I'm telling you, everybody across the fruited plains that was watching this episode was jamming to En Vogue's Hold On To Your Love. Because when that song came out, it was a whole ass jam. And everybody, and you know, if you've ever been on a trip with your boys, with your girls, with your Judies, with your besties, whatever, BFFs, and y'all been riding in the car on the trip, you have had that moment where everybody, you just grooving and jamming, and you done had a good ass trip, and you done made some memories, and everybody is collectively, I know you were watching this episode and this scene and thinking of memories that you had with all of your friends and y'all, just memories that you made. You were waxing nostalgic. And a song like Hold On To Your Love at that time was a song that you will always remember for trips like that. And it was just a great time. And in the middle of that, Elektra with her badass driving looks in the rearview mirror and sees Kandi. And Kandi smiles at her and gives her this validation and this, you know, almost thank you, this seal of approval without even saying anything. And Elektra smiles. And like I told y'all, this was a great episode for Elektra. And I love that Kandi showed up to give Elektra that validation, because she had talked about her regret for not going up to the casket. And I think Elektra really needed that. Finally, we're back at the house, at Blanca's house. Blanca tells Angel if she'll stay over with her because she still have empty nest syndrome. Angel says, sure, let me call Poppy and tell Poppy that I won't be home. She goes to the phone, sees that there are messages. She said, Ma, you got messages on your answer machine. Blanca goes over to check the messages. She's like, Charlie's probably a bill collector. Because when they were in the kitchen together, Angel was like, oh, you think Lifeguard Bay is going to call? She was like, child, probably not. But it was good for what it was worth while I was out there. And they go there, and who is the message from? Lifeguard Bay. Girl, you know she got instantly moist again, baby. She told Angel, baby, you might need to go to the room for the rest of the night, honey, because I'm going to be on the phone all night, honey. And she calls Lifeguard Bay, and it goes off from there, okay? So next week is the season finale. We'll be back. I will try to keep my season finale next week under 45 minutes. I can't make no promises, y'all, because you know they're going to give us a whole lot in the season finale next week. And we'll be here for it. Another episode next week. Stay tuned. We'll be right back here. I thank y'all for watching. Y'all know what we're about to get to is my favorite part of this all, which is the comment section. I will meet y'all in the comment section to aga, and agree, but aga too, and agree down in the comment section. I will meet y'all in the comment section. I look forward to you all commenting. Let's get it going in the comment section. That's all I got for y'all this week, y'all. We'll be back next week. Same place, same time. I'll see y'all next week. That's all I got. Peace.